I've waited my entire life to make a video like this. Yes, my entire life. My team finally has a quarterback, and y'all don't understand what this means to me, man. You can call me dramatic. A, I don't care, but B, you have to really understand what I've had to endure to get to this point. I've seen my team win one playoff game in 25 years of my life, and that's when I was 7 years old. I endured primetime Kirk Cousins, RG3 tearing his ACL, Mark Brunell, Jason Campbell, Joe Beck. I could name them all. I had to convince myself Taylor Heineke was our savior. We finally have a guy I feel like can lead us to the Super Bowl in my lifetime. I now have hope that I will actually see my team win a Super Bowl, all thanks to the Commanders, to Josh Harris, Adam Peters, and most importantly, Jayden Daniels. I've been going to games since I was 4 years old, preseason games, regular season games. My dad and I have had season tickets. I've never even seen us be good, like considered like a really good team. And now I feel like everyone's talking about us. It's insane. And yes, I say us because this runs deep, bro.
This means something to me, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see. We're on First Take. Everybody's talking about the Commanders, about Jayden Daniels, about, oh, this is the best team in the NFC East. They're gonna win the NFC East. Oh, Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC. Like, whoa, this is insane. I don't agree with those things. You know, I'm not like super delusional. Okay, I'm just super happy that this is finally happening. When we drafted this kid, I knew we had a chance. I looked at him as, I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, okay? I'm just saying, obviously the play styles are similar. I watched a lot of his college. I mean, honestly, I watched him all the way back at Arizona State. So I love when my team gets a really good football player that I've been following for a long time. Kind of like feels like the stars align a little bit. And that's how I feel right here with Jayden, honestly. I also knew he was a great kid, great leader on and off the field. So once we got him, I knew what we were getting. We were getting like a real leader at the quarterback position. I'm not saying that we haven't had that in a long time, but I am kind of saying we haven't had that in a long time. So the second we drafted Jayden, I knew this was the beginning of a fresh start. I mean, going back to even Josh Harris, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, man, once we drafted this kid, I knew everything was just up from here. I don't think it's crazy to say that Jayden's brought excitement back to the fan base, the city, the organization. Anyone involved with this team in any sort of capacity is all of a sudden believing at the highest level again, which I love. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know, something has to go wrong. Somebody pinch me. We're dreaming type shit. You know, that's how I've been feeling lately. It's just like, this cannot be actually happening. We're finally out of the Dan Snyder like era. We're finally unchained of all the that he put us through, the poor run organization that he had. I felt like we were never gonna see the light of day, almost the light at the end of the tunnel. I cannot tell you how many times I was yelling at my dad, telling him like, yo, this dude needs to fucking go. He needs to get out of here. When Bruce Allen was the GM, like, bro, this pain runs deep. And I think the thing and the theme that I want to come across the most is that Jayden has brought joy back to DC in every way possible. Let's ignore the play style for just a second. I mean, just his demeanor alone. He's poised, he's confident, he's got a lot of swag. He brings just a bunch of joy to the team, man. You can see how much everybody really rallies around him. They view him as the leader of the team at such a young age. Now, yeah, maybe he's not super young for a rookie. I think he's 23, but still, bro, you're coming into a locker room full of grown men and everyone seems to follow his lead. Now, let me just make this clear. I will try my best never to bring this man's name up again, but this would not have existed under Dan Snyder. We would have broken Jayden just like we broke RG3, just like we broke everybody else that came before this. You have to understand that good quarterbacks, good players are only built through good infrastructures. And if we still had that old owner, we would not be here right now having this conversation. Or at least maybe we would be 4 games in, but I would still be feeling very worried that it wouldn't last long because this stupid ass is gonna f it up somehow, right? The new ownership has done such an incredible job of bringing in Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and to me, most importantly, Cliff Kingsbury, just because I feel like Cliff and Jayden have a very, very special connection. And I feel like Cliff understands Jayden's play style to the highest extent. He knows how to optimize and maximize his abilities to the fullest.
It's awesome. I mean, me and Cliff just had that communication, that honesty. I could able to go in his office and say, hey, I don't like this. and he's here for it. He wants to put us in the best spot.
And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, it's a college offense. It's a simple offense, too basic, whatever. Bro, I don't care. Yes, maybe at some point, I'm sure at some point, defenses will catch up a little bit. It's on Cliff to evolve, XYZ. Look, man, as long as the numbers and the production and the winning is there and Tressway is sitting on that sideline not having to punt, I literally could care less. It doesn't bother me at all. Simple or not simple, results are the most important thing. And before we get back to Jayden, just real quick, the person I am definitely the most happy for on this team is Terry McLaurin. Yo, this dude right behind Santana Moss and Sean Taylor, might be ahead of Santana Moss for me on my Mount Rushmore of Washington players, just because of how much this dude has endured. I saw, I think, a graphic on Monday Night Football that he's caught a pass from, I think, 11 different quarterbacks in his 6 or 7 years here. That's insane. And to have 1,000 yards in each season, completing a pass from that many quarterbacks, it's insane. He never complains. I feel like receivers are the most diva position in the NFL, and we never hear him make any bad remarks towards the team. He always works hard. He got paid. He deserves it. I feel like this is the type of guy that you need in your locker room for as long as he's in his prime and after. As long as he's in the NFL, he should be in a Washington uniform because he has been so big in just setting the tone. If your best player is not bitching about getting the ball, then nobody else should be complaining. Him and Jayden really seem to be building that connection and that bond. And to take it a step further when it comes to building culture, I want to give a big shout out to Dan Quinn. He's made it a big point of emphasis to bring in the old guard. I think Darryl Green, definitely Doug Williams, a lot of other guys to just be in the building and be around the team, just to remind the guys like, hey man, this is a storied franchise. This is a big time franchise. We're supposed to be competing for titles, and these guys exist. They're right here. You can always reach out to them, and they should be around. They helped build the culture. They helped build this franchise to what it is. The best part about it, I get chills even thinking about it, has been how Jayden Daniels has honored Doug Williams every opportunity he gets. I think he was against Arizona or against Tampa Bay. I can't remember. He's wearing the Doug Williams graphic tee. And then definitely before week 1, he walked in with the Doug Williams jersey. And then you see him, Doug Williams, Michael Vick take a picture in the stadium. And then after the Commanders beat the Cardinals in week 4, he goes over to Doug Williams and gives him a hug. And then I read an interview talking about where Doug Williams was just saying, like, me and Jayden have never had like a super serious conversation about this, but Jayden makes it very clear with his actions how much he honors me and respects me, and you couldn't write this shit any better. You couldn't ask for a better character young man. What a great way to just win the fan base, and it's clear that it matters to him being the next black quarterback in a franchise that has Doug Williams on it. It's a big deal. You can think it's not a big deal. You can say, oh, why are you bringing race into it? Bro, I'm just calling it how I see it.
How much pride do you take in that and being a part of that, and what type of responsibility do you feel to kind of push that forward?
A great sense of responsibility. It means a lot to me to be a part of a fraternity like that, and see those guys that paved the way for me to come and, be me in this league. So obviously it's a great sense of responsibility to go out there and inspire the next generation.
He's honoring the GOAT, like one of the GOATs of this franchise, and I just appreciate it. As soon as there's a perfect picture of Doug and Jayden, I'm definitely getting that framed and putting that somewhere in the office. Have to, bro. Have to. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying this. The young guy just gets it. And that's just true, bro. He just gets it. It's hard to explain. You can't put your finger on it. I mean, you can through examples like this, but he just seems to have a super deep understanding of what it takes to be a successful human being and honoring the legends that came before you. Just that's been the coolest thing about this whole situation to me, just by far the coolest thing. And honestly, that level of respect begins above even the head coach, above the general manager, and into the ownership and into Josh Harris. He was a fan of Washington growing up. I'm sure, he loved Doug Williams in some capacity. Bro, good people that understand the history of this franchise are going to build it into what it's supposed to be. This is what we were always supposed to be. We were always supposed to be contending for Super Bowls. And I bring this up when it pertains to Jayden because, most importantly, look at guys like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith. I'm sure I'm missing a couple other guys. Shout out to any guy that was drafted in a bad position by a bad organization and then rebuilds their name. Look at Bryce Young. And I love Dave Canales. I thought they hired the right guy, but you don't know what they did to him his rookie year that maybe just threw him off mentally. Bad organizations develop poorly, and good organizations develop the great way. Look at Tom Brady, the most important. If Tom Brady was drafted by the Washington Redskins, and whenever he was drafted, he wouldn't be Tom Brady. It's just the fact of the matter. It would not happen. We would somehow break him. We would have cut him. Good organizations build players the right way. It's just a fact. To bring it back to Cliff real quick, hiring Cliff was the best thing that could have possibly happened to Jayden. I said it earlier. I know that. They seem to connect at a great level. B, look at Caleb Williams. Now, I'm not trashing Caleb Williams. I like him. Yeah, sometimes he's a little too arrogant, whatever. Well, let's move past that for a second. Shane Waldron, so many people, his own team, Jackson Smith and Jigba, said that he really doesn't like Shane Waldron. Now, no, he didn't say that outright, straight, to his face, but he hinted at it. It was pretty obvious what he meant.
Bears fans are super interested about the offensive coordinator coming in, Shane Waldron. What can you tell them about who they just hired to try to get this offense where it needs to go?
This is live.
And then you hear about Caleb Williams and Mercedes Lewis having a player, like they had like a meeting with Shane Waldron telling him, hey man, we need your play calling to be more aggressive, XYZ. Bro, what? Like, what? You got your rookie quarterback is trying to tell you what to do? Bro, he's the one that needs help developing, and he's trying to help develop you. Like, bro, if you're not bringing in the right voice, you risk like the development of your franchise. Literally, your franchise quarterback could be held back like immensely if you bring in the wrong voice to help develop him. It's so obvious. Bro, look at that Washington offensive staff. There is years and years and years of experience right there, all available to help Jayden. And that's why I love Dan Quinn so much, because like I said, he brings in Doug Williams. So it's not just on the field that he has help, right? He has help off of it as well. Bro, I love everything about the way that they're going about this development, because it really feels like we're trying to build a superstar, not just a star, right? I really felt like the Texans did this super well with CJ Stroud. They had Bobby Slowick. D'Amico Ryans is a great coach who understands that culture. He was a linebacker for that team when they were in the playoffs. So he understands what it takes to win and how much it means to the city, XYZ. He understands the culture, just everything about it. That's how I feel about Dan Quinn. He understands everything about this and what it takes to get us to that next level. So, man, I love how we've surrounded Jayden with just the perfect infrastructure to be successful. Most importantly, like I said earlier, Jayden has brought joy back to DC. I don't think I've ever been this happy as a fan, and I've definitely never been this optimistic as a fan. I also want to say one last thing. I think the impact that Jayden's going to have on this city cannot be measured. It really cannot. There's going to be so many kids, and I bet you there are already so many kids that want to be just like him, that are asking for his jersey for Christmas, that are making edits on TikTok. He's inspiring the youth in that way. And when you see him giving an ode and honoring Doug Williams, that shit is only going to carry on. And it allows those kids to know who Doug Williams is, and to understand that there's legacy, and to understand that, hey man, maybe you could be next, right? I love everything about this kid. I don't care if y'all are in the comments saying I'm glazing. I don't give a fuck. I waited my whole life for a quarterback like this. The moment's finally here, and we might be Super Bowl bound in the next 5 years. I hope so. Why not, right? Why not us? For the first time, I can actually say that. I'll come back with more videos that are better structured. Right now, I'm just happy and wanted to get all these thoughts out of my brain. Then we can focus more on on the field stuff as time comes, for sure. Oh yeah, before I forget, I do want to try and do some sort of giveaway here soon. So I guess I'm making this up on the fly. If we hit 1,000 subs by January, and you send me a screenshot that you are subscribed, and DM me your screenshot on Instagram at Sideline Talks, same as the YouTube at. You DM me proof. I'll enter your name in a raffle, and I'll be giving away a football jersey. I'm hoping that to give it to a kid I'm hoping to give it to somebody young or as a gift for somebody young. I know Christmas is coming around, that that time of giving. I would love nothing more than to try and give back in any way I can. This is like big to me. I would love to do that. It'd make me so happy if I could make someone's Christmas or help somebody out in any way I can. So hey, if we hit 1,000 subs, maybe even if we don't, just DM me that you're subscribed. Send me a screenshot proof. I'll enter your name in a raffle. January 1st, we'll do the raffle, and we'll give the jersey away. Jersey of your choosing, by the way. Any jersey you want, any team. I ain't buying the authentic $250 jersey, all right? I'm not built like that yet, but I do want to give back in any way I can. So DM me, especially if you made it this far. You might as well DM me, right? Why not? Just send me proof, and we'll make it happen very, very soon. I'm out.